Yeah, cheers is always good. Yeah, staying on mic would be, proximity's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right
I'll
up,
give everybody a little
you know.
lesson
Don't wanna
before
give
we
you room to
start.
have your cocktail.
Yeah,
That's
can't
key.
cut that out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Namaste, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste, mamakusa.
Oh boy.
I feel like I'm back at Club 57 or whatever. What?
I don't know.
What happened to A. Duhon?
Yeah, I don't know.
He was here recently.
Patrick, you on the page?
Oh, I like that preface.
These wee things?
The preface, the personas. I like those.
This is
those are
pre-
good.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're good for recording. It's
Well,
a good interface.
we're recording right now.
Yeah, I
So
know.
good news for us. Oh, what about my glasses? So this is another fucked up situation because I can't see anything.
Yeah, that makes it
These
hard.
aren't my real glasses. My real glasses broke, and these are ones I got at the drugstore when I was out shopping with this little girl, and she picked them up for me. She's like 11, 10.
Literally a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't some sort of affectionate name for my girlfriend. This isn't my girlfriend's daughter. So she thought these looked good. I'm like, okay, just get those.
I mean, sometimes you need advice.
But I
Kids know
came
what's
to
cool.
find it's the wrong number. So I can't actually. It's very disconcerting.
Well, they look good, so
'Cause-
at least they serve that.
There's not really a good spot. Oh, that might be right. That's not very conducive to, relaxed conversation.
No.
Oh, that's really. But I really can't see anything without them, is the thing. I don't know why they don't write this shit in English. Okay. So we're ready to go. Where is Andrew? Does anybody know?
He went to the bathroom.
Did he?
I think
I
so.
hope he's all right. It's been
He
going
fell
long.
in.
It's been going a long time.
Sometimes people fall in.
Yeah, that's what Carl said. And what happened to Karen Eye Candy?
Is that her name?
Okay.
Her name's Karen Eye Candy?
Karen Eye Candy Tep.
Tep?
T-E-P.
That's
Yeah.
the other guest.
Allegedly, she told
Why
me
eye candy?
I saw her on
Good
Facebook.
question.
I saw her on Facebook last night, and she said she was coming here.
Are you recording?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no.
This
it's
is
okay.
Facebook
I
Live.
just-
Facebook Live.
This is to go.
Oh,
Is it
so
really
cool.
going out live already?
Yeah, going out live.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
All right. So we're just sitting around waiting.
Now it
well,
starts. The
Andrew's
pressure
almost
starts.
here, I think. Hey, this is good. I can rest on this.
We're good.
Oh, you.
I'm so glad I powdered my face then.
Yeah,
Is it right?
absolutely.
Yeah, you
That's
think
what
it's all radio, but they're
I'd like to get
filming this
makeup.
and everything.
I wouldn't. I need wardrobe as well. You look pretty
I was
good.
about to ask for makeup, so I'm glad you asked for
Yeah. Well,
hair, makeup, wardrobe.
I didn't
Yeah,
put on
I
any
need
makeup
wardrobe.
though. I should have definitely used
Oh,
the
well.
makeup.
okay.
You're fine.
All right, good.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Yeah.
Never. I've never seen a digital clock.
It's a digital clock. Doesn't have any wires.
Does it have batteries? Are there batteries in there?
Maybe that's how it's working. It's been going for weeks.
Oh my goodness. It is the battery.
It's battery powered.
A battery operated clock.
It's a battery
Digital.
clock. Okay, Andrew,
What
it's
is
a
the world
battery
coming
clock.
to?
That's how it works. Batteries.
Battery.
Cole just figured it out. It's batteries.
Because you're running out of batteries?
I didn't know it was batteries. I just thought it was like some sort of
Oh, look at
solar
that.
or
Ooh,
magic or
yeah.
something. Okay, so we're just going to go for it and
Fidelity.
hope that Karen showed the end of
See what that's about?
the invisible guest who's not here.
You should get a drink for her.
Good
put a
call.
drink
Oh
right
yes,
there.
yeah.
and
Just
we're
put a drink right
and our
there.
producer Graham DePonte is supposed to be here, but she went to Whole Food and went shopping and got a whole, thing of groceries and went to pay for it and realized she left her wallet at home.
Oh my goodness.
So then she had to drive home, which is nowhere near Whole Food at all, her house.
Oh, jeez.
So she's running a little
You want
late.
to try with this one mic, or do you want... Yep. Yeah, let's see what that's about. Or I could pull the other mic toward it, but let's see what this does. I don't mind playing just like this. Yeah.
It's pretty hard.
Works for me.
Okay. Nice, that's nice. That's what I call music.
That's good.
Okay. Volume 1.
Now that's what I call music.
Mm-hmm. That should be the name of your new album. Never mind Welcome to My World. That's what I call Music Volume 2.
Yeah, that'll work.
Good idea. Okay, let's just give it a shot, shall we, everybody?
Yeah.
So let me give you a rough idea what goes on here. The show's an hour long. We turn the mics on, and then an hour later we turn them off. And anything that happens in between that is pretty much the show. So there's there's no like agenda. I have very minimal research about everybody, so it's not an interview show. It's more of a conversation show.
All right.
So you're welcome to just talk and say anything you want, and there's no FCC, and there's not even anyone listening to this.
So then we can ignore you.
You can totally ignore me. That
Say
would be
whatever
even
you want.
better.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can say whatever you want to anyone you want about anyone, about anything. If you get a phone call, you're welcome to take it or text people or make calls on the show. That's about it. You can drink as much as you want as long as someone goes and gets it. You don't have to sit here the whole time. You can get up and go get a drink if you want to. Whatever
Go
you
the
want to do.
bathroom and everything?
You can go to the bathroom, chop out some Coke. If you have any drugs, that'd be awesome.
No.
That'd be great because we don't have anything.
That's usually good to have on film too.
Say no to drugs.
Mhm. Well, that's dating yourself. Say no to drugs. That hasn't been around for a long time.
Say
So
no
that's
to
about the
drugs.
whole thing. So I just do a sort of intro and then we just sort of roll into it and see where it goes.
Okay.
All
So
right.
please stay on the mic there so I can hear you.
Oh,
You got to make an effort to be right on there,
Okay.
Larry.
so
Come
you
on.
have to eat the mic.
Yeah,
That's what they say in the studio. Eat the
Really?
mic.
Okay.
Eat it.
that's good. Just eat it.
Ready for a music bed, sir?
Yep, ready to go when you are. Let's give it a shot.
Andrew's Jimmy, I want
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Almost there. Sorry.
No, no worries. No rush. It's always worth tuning for.
Every minute it goes like another number.
That's the
Crazy
beauty of
fucking thing, isn't it?
It is.
I know.
That means the battery works, I guess.
Wonder where the batteries come.
When did you get that?
Not long
1980,
ago.
I think.
Yeah. From the however long batteries last. I got it at Walgreens or somewhere.
If you put it
Here
in the
she is,
freezer.
Karen, eye candy chat.
You made it.
Come on in. Sit. No way. You'll have to wait 1 hour. Sure thing. Do you want us to get you a drink in the meantime as well? What would you like? What would you like? Margarita? Sure thing. You go to the bathroom, I'll get a margarita. Ash has got one margarita. One frozen and one straight up.
One frozen, one rocks.
I don't know. What do you think she'd like, rocks or frozen?
I don't know. I'm drinking a frozen. It's delicious.
Okay, get her a frozen one. All right. Perfect.
That's what happens when you're late. You just get whatever
You're
comes.
just going to have to drink it.
I was gonna say she looks like she likes salt on the rim.
Oh, I'd say so.
She looks like a
I'd
salt
say
on the rim
frozen
girl.
with salt on the rim. I'd
what
say
I
the
would
same
say.
thing. That is just total, you know, could be way off though. You know.
Totally, yeah.
It's just a sort of, you're going by looks.
Huh.
Or you're
No,
going by
energy.
feel.
I'm going by feel.
Energy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how right you are then. This is going to be an interesting
Let's see.
start to the whole show. Which bathroom do you think she's using, men's or women's?
You're allowed to use either these days.
Are you? Even here? In
It's
my
only
thing?
one bathroom.
probably
It's
not in the
unisex
South.
No, there's
bathroom.
two
In
bathrooms.
New Orleans, though, it's a whole
I'm not
different-
sure what
different-
she is.
You
No,
do
we're not
whatever
that
you
far.
want.
She's using the women's bathroom.
You think she's still
I'm
technically a
positive.
woman?
Absolutely.
I'm not going to weigh in on that one. Not yet.
We'll
I
have
need,
to
I need
find
another
out.
cocktail.
I'll ask her when she gets here how far along with the transition she is. I think that'll be a good icebreaker.
Yeah, just jump right in.
That's a good icebreaker.
Yeah, I think so.
No. Well, it depends.
Well, you want to?
If you were a gay man, that would be a great
How
icebreaker.
do you
But
know I'm
as
not
a
a gay? How do you know I'm not a gay man?
I don't get the energy, but you could be. You could be like a distinguished
You
older
thought
gay
that she
gentleman.
liked
Are you saying
Frozen.
the gay man has more energy?
No, because I've heard that from a gay man. A man thought that I was trans op.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just so fabulous. in his
Ah.
eyes.
Because you must be a guy. Therefore.
So I must have been a guy. Yeah. So I wasn't offended. But had it been a straight man, absolutely. Slapped the shit out of him.
57, then he goes 58. You see, it's just amazing. Okay, I think this is going to work out. You guys hot? I'm just really nervous.
I think you're nervous. I was about to ask if you're anxious. Are
I
you,
usually
are you fiddling with those
I usually
things?
throw up before every show.
You go-
No, I don't.
Get
have
rid
to
of
do that.
those 5 pounds. You get rid of lunch.
I had a great lunch. I went to Cap Deville. You've ever
Oh,
go
yeah.
there?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, bring it over here. Ash, you don't run away with it. Good man. Yeah, I had a
Time
Cuban
and nice.
sandwich.
Did
Cuban
you?
sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was made of the actual Cubans are in it.
How did the Cubans
It was
taste?
very good, actually.
I've had a
I'd say.
Cuban sandwich once. It's
Only
pretty good.
once?
Oh, yeah.
Once,
well,
yeah. I don't eat meat.
Oh,
Oh,
that would
well,
make
that
it
wouldn't be a
hard.
good
Yeah.
meal for you then.
No, not at
No,
all.
but it looks good.
It is
like I
good.
like,
It is.
you know, I know how things taste. I know how chicken and certain kinds of meat taste, and so I can enjoy it
Vicariously, yeah.
Yeah, like birthday cake.
If I threw it
I
up,
love
would you-
birthday cake, but I can't eat
Just
it because
looking
I
at it and
have a gluten
imagining.
allergy.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So,
Shit, you're
but I
really
love,
knocking it
just the icing and everything. So I'll tell
You
somebody.
can eat the icing.
Get the cake.
and you can eat the icing off.
Well, sometimes I just take a little bit, but I'm not supposed to. But I like to get somebody else to
Icing
get the
doesn't
cake.
have any gluten, no?
No, but the
It doesn't.
sugar, like once
Not-
you're clean,
It's
you're
no
affected by
sugar,
everything.
No
Oh,
sugar, no
okay.
gluten, no meat. That's
I do fish.
a lot.
It's
That's
narrowing
I eat
it
fish.
down.
I have honey and maple
Okay.
syrup.
okay.
So like mostly natural sweeteners. And then if I'm really, really, really good, I'll treat myself to something once a month or twice a month.
What would that be? A treat?
Chocolate.
Chocolate's
Just
good.
some really cheap
Good chocolate. Yeah.
No, sometimes it doesn't have to be good. Some really cheap
You
chocolate.
just want something.
Yeah, I
you
just
go,
want
Cheap
that
whatever you
chocolate's
can get.
horrible though. Hershey's that sucks. That
It's
stuff.
horrible, yeah, but
Just sugar.
sometimes
you
I
might as
just
well
want
just eat a cup of sugar.
Yeah, if you're
Sometimes I
cheap,
want
Karen,
sugar.
come on in.
You're
We got
cheap,
you
you
all
go
hooked
big,
up with a
I think.
frozen margarita.
go big.
sometimes you want the
With
really good
salt.
chocolate, but then sometimes
Okay,
the cheap.
let's do a quick
doesn't smell.
mic
I don't know.
check. You can.
I don't cheat.
you
I
can
just
put
eat
your-
it when I feel like it.
So,
So.
Karen, this is Andrew.
Hi.
This is Lowry.
Hi,
This
Lowry.
is Cole.
How you doing? Cole.
This is Karen,
Nice to
everybody.
meet
Nice to
So
meet you.
put these headphones on
Okay.
and have a couple of sips of that drink so you catch up.
It's kind of hard to drink for happy hour. Here.
Wait, we went
Yeah.
to. So is that the drink that you would have wanted? What do you normally get with the margarita?
On the rocks, but it's okay.
Oh!
Do you get salt on the
Damn.
rim,
Yeah.
or no salt?
You called the salt.
I called the salt.
You did call the salt.
Do you mind it being frozen or do you
No,
want to
it's
switch?
fine. It's fine.
I'll drink it if she doesn't want it.
Okay. Do you want to
I'll
get
drink
it?
some too.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
I appreciate that.
As long as it's a margarita, I'm good.
Okay. So, Karen, the deal is it's the same as this. Karen's been on the show before. She knows it's good. It's an hour long. You can put your cell phone on the table if you have your cell phone on you. You don't have to keep it turned off.
She doesn't want her cell
Especially
phone on.
you. Cause
What does that mean?
You can take calls or make calls or text people or anyone. Especially you might have. Who knows who might call you during the show?
Only my mom.
Oh, that would be
She
great.
already did. She called me in the bathroom already.
She did? All
Yeah.
right. She called me to see how you were, too. Okay, so that's about it. So we're just going to rock out. The whole, the whole deal. It's just a conversation. There's
Yeah.
no FCC. You can say anything you want and you can talk to anyone about anything and it doesn't have to all be an interview with me.
Okay.
You ready?
Sounds good.
Everybody's good?
Already.
Okay, I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
I thought you were already doing it.
I thought we'd already finished it. I thought it was pretty good.
Grant, we need to start that over because I had your voiceover. I thought that was pretty good. So let's just,
Start again?
just so you know,
Where was I?
nowhere. I'm going to start the music bed, but don't, just stay.
Don't talk.
Yeah, thank you.
It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. I don't think you could get more random than this collection of people around this table here today. Actually, to tell you the truth, take a look at this. This is all on Facebook Live too, if you want to see what we look like instantly. Where the hell was I? Well, other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at Wayfair on Ferret Street, which is a restaurant and a bar where they serve handcrafted food and spirits. They have a whole new menu and a radically new happy hour, which is 3 hours every day from 3 to 6, where everything is half price, including drinks, appetizers, and bar food. That's Wayfair on Ferret Street. Thanks for joining us on Happy Hour. This is an incredibly random collection of people, along with Andrew Duhon, my co-host. Here's Karen Eye Candy Tap. Hello, Karen. Should I call you Karen or Eye Candy?
You can call me Karen.
Call you Karen? So if you're looking for Karen on the internet, it's spelled I-K-A-N-D-Y.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little bit about Karen. She's an actress, a model, a human rights activist, a dating guru, and a social media star of something called #DatingEyeCandy. Is that accurate enough?
Yep.
Okay. And to my right, Cole Williams is here. Hi, Cole.
How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you doing?
I'm feeling better.
Better than what?
Better than before this whiskey.
Oh, good idea. So you've only, but look how little of it you've drunk.
Oh no, I'm drinking.
You've only drunk
There's
a
ice in
tiny
there.
wee bit. When's the last time you had a good whiskey drink?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
I
Maybe
made
you
it for myself.
You made it at home?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in the 7th ward.
7th Ward.
Yeah.
between 6 and 8?
I think.
Okay.
Why are you putting me on the spot? I
I
don't like
just thought-
math.
well, anyway,
I
I'll
like to count the money,
So,
but
if you guys want to know what Cole does, she's the punk empress of African rock.
yeah.
Okay, so far we're doing pretty good, right? We've got an activist, dating guru, and the punk empress of African rock.
Yes.
And wait till you hear what Lowry Curley does. Would you like to take a stab at it, ladies and gentlemen?
Any guesses? Any guesses?
Have a guess.
He owns a landscaping firm, so we can call it Lowry Curly Mows.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, that's very good.
Just a guess.
Your real name is Lowry Curley, right?
That is correct.
Right, so people
No
make fun
Mo.
of that.
I've
and
heard
that's
it a couple of times, you know,
Lowry
elementary
Curly and
school.
Mo. Right.
Yeah.
Lowry Curly Mo's, that's really a genius.
Thanks, buddy.
You could do that if things don't work out. You could totally open a landscape. Do you want to have one crack?
Yeah.
We did this before the show started already. You were picking what people do and what
Yeah,
they
you're
like.
good at
so
reading
try
people.
this one. Yeah. What's the energy you get?
He's in
from
the sex industry. He sells
Oh,
sex toys.
wow.
He has a
Wow.
really
Pretty damn close.
That
really
is close.
profitable sex toy industry or something.
It's very close.
What about him says sex toy?
He just looks really smart, and sex is where the money is.
Wow.
Let me
okay.
tell you something about what Lowry does then. Lowry is a scientist.
You got, yeah.
He's the founder of a company called Axosim, where they make what's called nerve on a chip. They're making human nerves in a laboratory.
Oh my goodness.
On a,
How about that?
like on a chip, you know, so like
Not a, no,
so for consumption as an appetizer. or,
Not,
nerve on a chip.
not a
different.
tortilla chip.
It's nerve on a chip technology.
Mhm.
It's actual human.
Not for eating
Life.
or for sex purposes.
So
Okay.
what
I
is
can
this
say
about?
that.
I don't. What is it? What
It
does this
is.
mean?
It's to screen drugs. So for pharmaceutical
Oh, right.
companies to test drugs,
Okay.
they don't have to do it on animals
Mhm.
before they go into clinical trials.
Oh,
You
that's
have a good idea of what it's going to do to people.
So
So
talking to the mic there,
Okay.
if you're really a scientist.
I am, but we don't
Okay.
talk into a lot of mics in the lab, believe it or not.
right.
Where's the lab?
The lab is actually right now at Tulane University. We're leasing some space and
On St. Charles
just
Avenue.
not too far from here at all.
But
So
it's
it's
walking
totally
distance. So walking distance from here
Okay.
and close to the 7th Ward, between 6 and 8, where they make whiskey drinks, you can actually go and watch
I
them.
make my whiskey drinks.
You make them?
Yeah.
Yourself?
In
I know.
my
You can
house if I'm
take
not
your
going to
whiskey
the
drink
bar.
over there. Can you take a drink into the lab?
I mean, well, I don't see why not.
Why not?
You want to
So-
drink in the lab?
Yeah, I think I would get more.
He's
done
on
that
his
way.
second drink.
While he's working on nerve chips?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's actual human life that's being created in the laboratory on St. Charles Avenue in Uptown New Orleans. How about that?
That is amazing.
It's maybe not quite that advanced, but we're getting close.
Oh, don't say that. What do you mean not quite that advanced? What are you up to?
Well, we we're creating these chips. We're actually starting to test some drugs in them and seeing what kind of responses we get.
So you have got to the point of actually making a human nerve on a chip.
We have, but I wouldn't call it
Fake
life.
life.
They don't talk to us. You know, they don't really tell us what's going on. We have to infer that, I guess.
No, I don't understand that. Karen, do you understand that?
Kind of. I'm
Could
in
you
the medical
explain that? You're in the medical field?
field, so I kind of understand what he's trying
You
to
in
say.
medical experiments?
I guess like with prescription drugs, like gabapentin and stuff like that, right?
That's
and then
exactly.
you would okay.
That's exactly it. So you can test them on our nerve.
Just go back 2 syllables. Gabapentin. Or was that 3 syllables?
It's a gabapentin is a medication that helps people with nerves.
Yeah, if they have damage to their nerves. It's supposed to help.
Mainly diabetics.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I'm a nurse.
You're a real nurse, a registered nurse.
I'm a real nurse.
Is that right?
Is there a fake nurse?
How come we didn't
Yes,
make
That's
There-
what I'm going to dress
there are
up as
fake
for
nurses.
Halloween.
That's what RN
A fake
stands
Nurse
for, right?
Ratchet
Real
is a
nurse?
fake nurse.
Real nurse? How come we didn't get nurse on this list of actress, model, human rights activist, dating guru, and social media star?
There's just so many to add in there.
Yeah, I'm
But-
just glad I'm not the only scientist, medical person here. So that helps take a lot of pressure off.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. Nurse, because nurses is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been a nurse for 11 years.
So why'd you leave it off this list of things? Actress is okay too.
It's more exciting.
Do you like?
Is it?
Do
Actress
you,
is more exciting.
so do you can,
The wardrobe.
It sounds more exciting.
The wardrobe is better
Do
for
you
the
ever-
Is it?
actress.
Yeah.
do you ever get to play a nurse? And
I
then you
did.
can say
I did.
I'm not
You
just a
good?
That
nurse
was a
on
list of
TV.
skills I added in my resume.
I don't just play a nurse on TV. I'm a real nurse.
I am a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you tell all these different people in your life what you do? Do you tell the people in the acting world you're really a nurse, or
It's on my resume.
it is on your resume? Okay.
So they'll
What's-
call me when they need a medical person.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got the
that's handy.
experience.
It's not
for
this
it.
big, dark, deep secret that she's a
Okay.
nurse. you
What
know.
sort of modeling are you doing? Because last time we talked to you, you've been on the show before, and last time we talked to you, you were married to a rap artist.
Oh, we weren't married.
You weren't married. Well, you totally lied about that. Because I'm
Did she?
sure you said you were married. Don't you remember that, Andrew?
Sounds.
You
No,
spat
I
me
wasn't here.
No, you weren't here.
out. You wasn't.
I don't remember anything.
You weren't married, but he was a rapper.
Yeah, I dated. I was in a relationship with someone that was a rapper.
Locally.
Name names. Do you want to name any names? Do we know them?
Nah.
You don't want to tell us who it was. We never did know who it was.
Yeah, no, we don't know them, or no, you don't want to name it, or
Thank
both.
you. I was going to say that.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's gone. He's out of the picture.
Yeah.
Because now you're now you're a dating
Yes.
person. So I watch you on Facebook Live. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
How do you do that? So what happens is that Karen gets on Facebook Live, and she just faces the camera by herself and starts talking.
About
Can you
what?
do it right now, or can you only do it like
What, the
when you're
live?
looking at a camera? Yeah, can you do like the sort of stuff you do, your act? It's not acting, of course. I know.
It's not acting. It's actually real life situations. And what happened was I've been in 2 long-term relationships, both 8 years back to back. So I've never really been single. So this is actually the first time I've actually been single for over a year now. And so
How
I
you-
kind of
how are
like
you liking it, first of all?
being single. I love it.
All right.
But so it was your first time in a while. You thought you'd just document all of it.
Well, I didn't know dating was that complicated. So I would go on these dates, and there were things that irked me about my dates, or how you would find a date. And like nowadays, everyone uses like online stuff like Tinder and whatnot. So
Are you using those things?
I am, but
What's your favorite platform?
okay. So I like Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on like Plenty of Fish, but I deactivated the same day.
What's that called?
Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
Do you know that one? You guys?
I don't do the
Oh, you've
It's
been
video.
on
actually-
that dating?
But my
I-
friend knows about Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish?
Yeah.
I
my
hear the
friend-
kids talking about Bumble these days.
I
don't
like
know.
Bumble. It's similar to Tinder.
Are these kids that you've created in the lab?
Yeah, they're really grown up very quickly. You know, it's
They're already
strange.
on Bumble. So have you been on Bumble, Karen?
Yes,
How'd that work?
I'm on Bumble and I'm on Tinder.
And what
What's
kind
the
of guy
other
are you
one?
looking for? Because we could help you out.
I'm actually at the time when I started dating, I was just kind of like getting my feet wet, and at this point in my life, I'm really not looking to be with anybody.
So what? We'll go back a little bit and tell us about. So you go. Because I've seen you get on this thing. I've seen you live on Facebook. It's extremely impressive for a
Well,
person who's a nurse, model, political activist. And
well,
just to be able to talk non-stop for like a half hour.
Well, during my rants, I call them my rants on Facebook, and when I celebrated my 1-year anniversary of being single, and I decided to I always snap about it or mention about it on Facebook, and people were like, "Oh, Karen, you should blog about it." I was like, I don't really want to write about my, there's so many blogs out there already. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I started snapping it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Maybe I should try it live on Facebook. And I think on my first day, I had like over 1,000 views. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And what I did was,
Isn't that unlikely? Because it's a really good-looking woman with a low-cut top talking about dating, and I want people to date me. That anyone would look at that, I'm shocked. That's crazy. You might have discovered something there.
yeah, so I went on Facebook, and I would talk about like my dates and things that's going on in the dating world. And people would interact with me. So that's how I was like, okay, it's cool, because it's not just me talking. I'm actually interacting with the audience, and they're giving their opinions about dating, and I'll ask them questions, and that's when I came to terms to that everyone has the same problem when they're dating,
Which
and
is
we
what?
all have something in common:
What's the problem?
not being able to find your mate.
Not being able to find
that a problem?
Mr. Right or something. Are you
Mr.
single,
and
Cole?
Mrs. Right.
Right. Are you single, Cole?
I don't talk about my personal life.
Really?
No, yeah.
Well, who would we talk
I'm,
about
I'm,
that
I'm
with?
loved and I'm in love.
Okay,
Aw.
that's nice.
Well, that's nice.
Larry, what about you? Are you single? Or?
And now I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
But I should say,
Bumble?
before that, no, it was not.
You didn't create her.
But before that,
That would be cool.
I won't comment on that. I
Okay.
don't talk about my
I
personal
don't
life
get,
either.
well, I don't get that specific.
Well, this should be an
It's
interesting
Pandora's-
60 minutes.
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
Pandora's box. You start talking about one
Yeah,
thing.
who
and then-
knows?
But yeah, I was just interested that you said everyone has the same problem about finding someone. So I'm wondering.
Finding someone now, I think.
Today.
Yeah, today. Like, it's
Like today,
different.
this
Like
day.
today.
Like in this day and age. Or
yeah, like this day and age.
What do you
Not
think
today.
is?
What's the difference?
Well, you never
between-
know because it's like Snapchat is today, so I don't even know how
That's
to
what I
ask
thought
these
you meant this
specific
afternoon.
questions.
You wanted to, find someone today. But what's the difference between now and like 100 years ago? It would have been worse 100 years ago because you were stuck in a one little tiny small village. You couldn't move or go
She was
anywhere.
just a spark, though, in someone's eye. Like she wasn't around 100 years ago.
No, well, I would hope not.
I think you
But
settled
what-
a lot back then.
Why is
Yeah,
it
I
so
imagine.
difficult now?
I guess there's a lot of factors. My audience ranges from like all ages.
Okay,
so
turn around and look at this bunch of guys.
they're too young.
Too young?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Bros.
He's trying to get me
Alright.
arrested.
How old are they? They're in a bar. Oh, look at
They're like 18.
all right.
Don't
And
say
how-
that.
20.
We know where we are. That could get people in trouble here. They're 21 for sure.
They're 21
I saw their
probably.
IDs.
And well, it's a restaurant as well. Anyone,
yeah,
anyone
they're
can
just-
come in here.
that's
You
true,
can
they're
be a
just eating.
child.
That's-
How
they're
old
just
is the
eating.
Mr. How old is
21
Mr.
is the
Wright?
new
in here?
18.
Is there an
Yeah.
is there an age?
Actually, I brought that up yesterday on my Facebook. I was asking people what's too old and too young for you.
Are you allowed to tell us how old you are, or is that
I'm in my 30s.
in your 30s? Okay, so what are you looking for? A guy in his what?
I don't know.
Up to what age? 70?
No, I said yesterday that if you look like my dad, I wouldn't date you.
What does he look like?
Is your dad cute? Is what
Yeah.
What you know?
Is he Cambodian? Because that would knock it down substantially.
Maybe her dad's not cute. That's why.
Oh, okay, that's a good
My
answer.
dad is 71.
Okay. Where is he?
My real dad's in Maryland.
And what about your fake dad? Where is he?
I have a stepdad, and he's 68.
Okay.
So. and
Where's
he's-
is he here in
he's
New
here
Orleans?
yeah, he's in Louisiana.
Okay. Now you come from the countryside.
Yes,
around here.
yes.
Where do you live in the countryside?
I live in like the bayou.
Whereabouts?
That's why it took me like 2 hours
Are
to
you
get
from
here.
the bayou?
No, I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
Which
and then you live in the
bayou?
bayou?
I live down there, yeah, with gators and
Wh-
Where? What's the name of the city?
beers.
I don't know where that is.
Burris.
Yeah.
Totally heard of that. Have you heard of that?
I've absolutely heard of that.
Yeah. Don't know where it is though, Larry.
I've heard of it. I have to say the same
No one
thing.
knows where it is.
I
So
don't know
if
where
you
it
can
is.
picture the map of Louisiana, and
Yep.
we always say Louisiana is the foot of the man in the United States, right? So I live where his toe sticks out in the Gulf.
Are you way
Oh.
down? So are you
Way
being
down.
washed away?
Way down there, yeah. We're the first people to get hit by the hurricane.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And are you getting washed away now? I mean, is it disappearing
Uh,
around you? Because that's right where all the land is going.
yeah, I
right?
think they're working on the coast, but I don't
I
really.
think they're working on the coast. All right.
Yeah,
You don't
old-
get out of the
old-
house that much.
Good old BP decided to sponsor that, from what I hear. They just, out of the goodness
Oh,
of their
really?
heart, they said we're going to sponsor the.
We're going to
the-
put some
Coastal
yeah,
restoration.
stones.
Yeah,
in.
because they're just nice
Well,
people.
it says that we're losing a football field every 40 minutes or something. Have you noticed that down there? No.
I'm like an hour to the end of the world, and they have a sign that says we're at the end of the world.
Well, is the end of the world getting
creepy.
closer, though? Is what I'm saying? Is that true? I mean, we don't even
I don't
know where it is.
know.
We
I
just
don't
see it
know.
on
I just-
TV.
Asking
know,
you, is it like a
really?
receding hairline? Can
Yeah.
you see?
Yes.
Can you
see it going back?
Well, a football field every
Eventually
40
go
minutes,
bald.
you could watch it crumble into the ocean, assumedly, if
Yeah.
it's a football field every 40
I
minutes.
really
If you're an hour
literally
away.
live right next to the levee, so I'm in between
wow.
the Gulf and the Mississippi. Like I can just walk 2 minutes to the levee, and
So if you felt,
next-
do you ever feel suicidal? 'Cause that'd be an awesome place to kill yourself. You could just walk right into the ocean. Nobody would
I
ever.
think,
You're horrible.
Well, I was just wondering if
I
things
think it's
aren't
a great
working
place
out
to
on
kill somebody
Bumble.
too.
Be even more
Just throw
interesting.
it over
Why
the
do you
river.
live way down
throw
there?
Them, throw them in the river.
Why do
And the
you live there?
gators, catfish, we'll eat it.
You ate everything, catfish. Are they?
I don't
Do
eat- Yeah, there's
They're like-
catfish. I think I caught the biggest one I've caught was 60 pounds.
Wow,
Yeah. But
60.
I don't eat the fish.
Do you sell that fish?
I give it to my mom. She loves
She-
catfish.
Oh, wow.
60
Did she eat
pounds
the
of
whole
catfish.
60 pounds?
Yeah.
She would chop them up
She
into
must have been
pieces
hungry.
and then
Right.
throw in the freezer.
All right. From what distance?
Like, I try not to exist because it's a very small town. I don't want
Right.
anybody to know what
I
I'm
want anyone
doing.
to know that you're on the internet trolling for man.
Do they not have the internet down there? People can't.
No, you know what? I don't have internet. Why should I rub it in my face? I don't have internet. I have to use my phone.
You don't have internet down there at your house in Bureau.
Oh, wow. No way.
No.
What
I'm
about
serious.
doing this Facebook Live thing from your phone? Then
I do
out,
at work.
but do it out at the on the bayou with your
Yeah.
feet
Yeah.
in the Gulf.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
the
could
hell
do
it
it
is
on
there.
my phone, but I get seasick, so I can't go on the.
Okay.
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. You're an interesting person, that's for sure. So what kind of guys can you date down there? There aren't too many.
I don't date nobody
So you
down
got
there.
to get out of there, right? So
I
that
don't
means
date
that every time you
anybody
go on a
down there.
date, you have to drive 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder it's taking a while to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
someone.
I've only been on 3 dates in
Right.
a whole over a year.
Right.
Why would she have to drive 2 hours? They should drive 2 hours.
Because she doesn't want people
But
to know
there's
she lives
yeah,
in Buras.
and there's nothing down there. There's like nothing down there.
You
I
can
don't know.
hang out and go
There's-
catfishing.
You know,
They
just
got to pick her up. She's 2 hours away.
Good point.
That's just
no,
what
as
happens.
long as they pay for dinner, I'm good. Just
What
eat.
about noodling? Can you do noodling down there?
You don't want to do noodling,
No.
but you can if you want to. If you want to go float down the rest of the Mississippi River, but I don't want to.
What is that? Floating down a river on a like tubing?
Oh
As
no.
far as
No.
well, you probably know better than me.
Yeah, noodling is when you go fishing for catfish with your bare hands. So you'll try to catch the catfish by putting your whole arm in their mouth.
Right. So it's incredibly dangerous though because
Yes.
this noodling activity has a a bit of a caveat that snapping turtles often inhabit these holes that catfish make. So there's either a catfish or a turtle in that hole.
You stick
And
your
if it's a
hand in.
catfish, it'll bite your hand and you'll grab it by the mouth. If it's a turtle, it'll bite your hand and bite your fingers off. So that's
what's
why
the deal with
noodling's kinda
that? People have had a
dangerous.
few beers before they. Why would
I think
you
they
do
do
that?
more of that like up north. Like
Yeah, it's a
we don't
northern
really
thing. I
don't
think
noodle down
it's
here.
not, yeah, maybe where the river's less or more tame, you know.
Right.
You can
How
do
did you
the
know
noodling
that,
thing.
Larry? Are you from?
I think I saw a TV show about it one time.
All
The
right.
river monsters.
There you go.
Cole, you ever go fishing?
No, I don't know anything about this life.
No.
I'm from Brooklyn, New
You're
York.
from Brooklyn.
I just moved
you
here 2
only,
years ago.
you only moved. When did you move here?
2 years ago,
2 years
January
ago.
2015.
Hey,
So I went
good enough.
kayaking. That was like my rites of passage. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't think you even kayak down here.
It's really interesting. The water, just the gators, all the life. I don't. We just have trees and buildings
Yeah.
and cats. Brooklyn is cat city, so that's like the most
What
dangerous
made
thing.
you want to get
cats.
out of Brooklyn and move to New Orleans?
I needed space. It was feeling like everything was crushing in on me.
Were you in
Closing
Brooklyn
in.
before it got hip?
Hit.
Before it got hip? Were you there?
Oh yeah,
Have you
born
been
and
there f-
raised. Yeah.
you
Oh
wa-
yeah.
So you've
so
watched
all
the
of
whole
that,
thing.
I watched it exactly. I watched it and I didn't like. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about what's going on here then? Have you noticed the same
I've
sort of...
totally noticed the same thing.
So what's the sitch? What can we expect?
Well, what we can
Where-
expect.
Where are you going next?
What's happening next is that all the gentrifiers are just moving in, and they're moving into the zones, into the artist zones.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's this cyclical thing happening right now, where the artists have created cities, and everyone else is moving in, and the artists are being pushed out. So, exactly what's happened before is going to happen again. Is what my feeling.
So-
People will be pushed out of all the inner cities into someplace else, and they'll figure out another city and another artist town, and then it'll become hip again, and and then everybody else will come there again.
But it seems to me that there's more and more people with more money, because people are moving to these places because they're artists, because they're cheap to move to. So people move there because it's cheap, and then people with money come and buy these places and fix them up, and they're worth more. And then all the artists move to another place, and more people with more money show up. I mean, is the population growing that much?
Yeah, because
That there's
well,
or
if
are
poor
people just
people
getting
have
wealthier?
children, if poor people have a lot of babies, then rich people have babies. So you're just having rich babies and poor babies. Yeah, pushing the next.
The artists
so the
out
rich
of-
generation is pushing the next generation to have more babies and gentrify. I don't know. I don't know how this
But
thing
I
works.
don't know how that works, because we've been living here in New Orleans for, is it 300 years now, or 400 years, or whatever it is?
Yeah, the tricentennial.
Which one is it? So that's 500, right?
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
Right. So we've been here for 500 years for the tricentennial. There's something wrong with that. look that up when you've got a minute. So it's been. I mean, I've been here for like, how long have I been here? 100 years or something. It's been the same for the whole time I've been here, and then suddenly, it's in the last 10 years, it's changed.
Well, that's how I feel about Brooklyn. Brooklyn
Yeah.
was the same, and all of a sudden it changed.
So it's not
and
every
then
generation.
I moved here, and then all of a sudden it changed. Yeah, but I think there's a certain time
There's a
in
tipping
the world.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tipping
There's-
point.
So why did it have to happen
I think,
now?
I think Katrina put us on CNN,
Yeah, I
and
was just saying that.
we were the phoenix from the ashes. After that, and then you got Jazz Fest, things that Mardi Gras, things that bring tourism in specifically to love the culture, and those rich tourists who love the culture will find a place to nest after the guy in the carriage or the guy in the cab or the guy in the airplane tells them where to go, and they go hang out in that hood, and they're like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool. Let me hang out here." And
Well,
then-
what's going to happen? Is Brooklyn ruined?
Kind of. Well, so what's happened in Brooklyn happens over here right now with people complaining about noise. But it's really kind of weird here because New Orleans is known for music and food, right? Well, people start complaining about the noise, so they move into areas that are really hip, and then they decide to have families or they get a job that requires them to be awake earlier, and then the noise is a problem.
Right.
So I don't know, because that's what they're doing here. You know, there's a club called Bufas where they have a stoplight, and so if you're on red, then you know that you're too loud. Someone has made a complaint in the neighborhood. They're always going.
Bufas. There's a light outside that.
There's a light inside
It
of the
says
restaurant that lets
inside.
the
If the red light
musicians
comes
that are
on, just
playing.
shut up.
No, yeah. So
this is
basically,
for the
red
band.
is you're too loud.
This is for the band.
Turn down. Yeah.
So if the red light comes on, it's such a tiny
it's-
little bar.
It's that conversation is far too black and white. Like most conversations, is far too two-sided when it's all shades of gray. You see the bumper stickers that say music is not a crime. This idea, and I'm a songwriter. I want the musical culture to exist. I love Frenchman Street right up until it became neon and that dogged, but there's a brass band that plays on the corner every night by Dat Dog, and if you play at Blue Nile, it's really loud, really fucking loud inside, the booked show, but nobody's going to say anything, but because the brass band is New Orleans, and who's to tell the brass band to not play so loud? Well, I don't know, but I know that music is a crime when somebody stands on the sidewalk, which is public, and plays music too loud all night in your neighborhood. That's a ridiculous example, but there are elements that there are a lot of variables here that need to be discussed, I think, and of
Let's
course
talk about it.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm a musician. I want there to be the culture of music everywhere that there's always been, and the places that want to create it newly. Sure,
There has to be.
of course, right. I think it's the backbone of what New Orleans culture is the music.
Is that what brought you here, Cole? Because you do play music. You're a musician.
Yeah, I discovered New Orleans being a musician on the road, and I ended up here, and I loved it, and I wanted to move out of New York for a long time. So this was one of the places that felt similar to Brooklyn. I felt like it was colorful. I felt like I could find my way around and be entertained,
and it's
be
difficult.
stimulated.
It's difficult to describe the kind of music you make.
How
How do you describe it? What do you call it?
Well, being here, I call it a gumbo of music. So I'm influenced. I'm half Jamaican. I grew up in the church. I grew up playing classical piano from 4 to 17. Then I studied classical voice in college, and
Wow.
I'm huge. One of my first background gigs was for West African artists. So I'm really influenced by a lot of genres, and the way that I found my way in the music business was to make my own music and to have my own voice. It never was very clear unless I did it that way. And then it just became this thing that took off, but I was leading it. So it's a gumbo of a lot. Christian.
Let's take a listen to something right now.
reggae.
What do you think?
Should we?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We've got the bongos
You want to
here.
hear an original song?
Yep.
Yes. What?
That was a nice segue.
Yeah. What are you going to play?
I don't know. I didn't even think about
You
it.
don't know? You
I
just
like to-
decide like as soon as you.
Yeah,
When,
gotta
when
see
would
how
you
I'm
decide
feeling.
that? Just when you touch the bongos, or
Like right now, as we're speaking, I'm thinking about it.
okay?
Yeah, let's do this song. I'll do a song called Little Me. Sometimes, oh yeah, sometimes, oh, you gotta tell your story. Oh, you gotta tell your story. Yeah. Oh, little me, staring through the windows of my eyes. And little me know the truth, but still invading a lie. Don't you hear me calling? Don't you see me falling? Why don't you catch me? catch me? Why don't you catch me, baby? Don't you hear me calling? Don't you see me falling? Why don't you catch me? Catch me, catch me.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right.
How about that, Larry?
Love it.
That was pretty incredible.
What do you think, Karen?
I love it.
Isn't
Kind
it
of
a-
reminds me of like Nelly Furtado and Yuna combined, like kind of indie
And
pop,
who?
right?
And who?
Yuna.
I don't know Yuna.
Yeah. You'll like
Well, you
it.
know, the beauty of my music is that it's always different because I have to interpret it for instrumentation.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's this now, and then with a 2-piece it's different, and with a 5-piece it's different. So it's all of that. Yeah.
Right.
It's no wrong.
I
or
think
right
it's more
answer.
like your message.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it.
I think it's the message. Yeah. Thanks.
What is that about?
The message. The message is freedom of my music. You know, I created my own genre.
Right.
It's about musical freedom. It's about human freedom. You know, I'm a human first. And that's what I think my gift and everybody's gift with music is. And art. You know, we are the voices of people that can't speak all the time. So I like to use my voice, which is my singing voice and my musical voice, as a message of freedom and hope.
And what's the reaction to that being here in New Orleans compared to in Brooklyn?
Well, you know, it's always different when you're a fish out of water. You know, a lot of people are attracted to it. A lot of people have questions. So I've had a really good welcome in here. In New York, it was different because I came up doing it. So they saw all the changes, all the expansion, and some people can deal with it and some people can't. But I still feel accepted in both places, but I just had to leave New York in order for me to fly the way that I wanted to fly.
It's pretty good to come to New Orleans because you can kind of be anything you want here. Nobody asks any questions.
Yeah, so I really
You
could
just
be
say
myself.
you just call yourself the punk empress of African rock. Everyone goes, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Where are you playing?
Exactly.
Yeah. No one's down on anybody here.
Not at all.
Not critical, which is really refreshing,
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah. Do
I
what you
think-
want.
Are you from here, Larry?
I'm originally from the North Shore.
So you're actually from the North Shore, and you're inventing how to make human life in a lab.
I guess.
You must be the
that's true.
smartest guy that ever came across that causeway.
Let's not tell them that, but yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
I would think so. How did you come up with this idea that you could create human life in the lab, really?
Well,
A nerve on a chip.
I'll say that in a second, but first I want to say I'm not really sure why I'm here. I'm not nearly as cool. I've never had 1,000 Facebook or internet followers.
Right.
I can't make music, and my life and the life I create is not as exciting as you make it sound. But
Are you
we
kidding?
can pretend
I know,
like
it's
that.
really
Are
exciting.
you kidding? So what you're doing is, seriously, you're creating like human life, replicating human nerves.
Wait, yeah. I mean, what we
so
can do
that
is
you
we
can
can
test drugs on them instead of testing on animals and humans.
Yeah, we can take human cells. I don't know if it's creating life. That's one way of putting it. But we can take them. We can basically build them up, kind of like 3D printing, into something that looks like an actual nerve, and test drugs and basically monitor how the nerves respond.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
that?
think that's really interesting. You don't have to test on animals anymore. That means that we respect animal life as much as we respect human life. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
cool.
It's something we're going for without a doubt.
and you came up with this idea.
No, I did not. So I was actually doing my PhD at Tulane. My PhD advisor came up with this, and
And you just ripped them off.
I ripped him off. Yeah.
Good job.
Now he's one of our co-founders. He's very involved.
So he thought of it.
yeah, he
Well,
did. he
so
did.
what are you doing? How come you're doing the interview?
Well, he
What about him? What's his name?
he thought of it. Michael Moore.
Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Michael Moore.
No relation.
Not very different Michael Moore.
Right.
Yes. No, he came up with it. I was a grad student, so that was his idea. I got in the lab. I started working on it.
So you made it happen.
Well, some of it. Luckily, a lot of smarter people, if we're being honest, came after me, kept going with it. But it was, I wanted to go with it as an entrepreneur. That was always something that was exciting to me. So I talked to him about it. He said, yeah, let's do it. And we're doing it.
Wow. And have you making any money yet? Is this going to be the
Not
biggest
yet.
thing ever?
Not yet. That's the hard part.
Isn't this
but
going to be huge, though?
It will be. And actually, we are on the cusp of our first customer. So that's really exciting.
Could we all give you like $100 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
that's a good
we're
idea.
we're raising money right now. So as much as y'all want to put on the table, I will take it.
I'm
And-
actually raising money as well.
okay. We all kind
Well,
of.
I'm
I
are.
think
raising
we're all
money too.
raising
If we're going to
money.
talk about it, I'm raising
Yeah,
money too.
yeah, okay, let's go around
Hey, I
the
said it.
table
Go
then.
around.
I said
Karen.
it first. I said it first.
Okay, how much do you need?
We'll go with $500,000 if y'all have it.
Oh wow.
$500,000 is what this is what you need to get to the next.
Well, we don't necessarily need that much. We've actually gotten a lot of grants from the federal government. They're supporting
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of this
cool.
research.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's nice.
How much have they given you?
we've gotten $750,000 so far.
Wow.
Is that all it costs to?
Well, it's
Build
a
human
step.
life.
So that's why we haven't gotten a customer yet. There's a lot of proof you have to
Remember
do.
the $6 million man? That was $6 million, and that was back in like the 70s or something.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're making the process of testing drugs more humane. Are you making it quicker or cheaper as well?
All of the above.
That's good.
Yeah. Because we can do this obviously faster than animals, definitely faster than humans.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less expensive because you don't have to take care of the animals. You
So
know, we
does
test it in humans.
Does it take any like result ambiguity out of it because you're taking out the what could be a dog or a rat or a pigeon?
Well, so
or-
that's what we're proving. I mean, obviously, animals aren't humans, but to take that leap for the pharmaceutical industry in particular, for the FDA, you have to prove that in a big way, and so that's what we're working on.
To
And that's
prove
sort
that
of our
dog isn't a
marketing.
human?
Well, you have to prove that we can do better than a dog because it's a simplified human.
So
you know?
normally, would drugs get approved by the FDA after they've had a clinical trial? And is that clinical trial on an animal, not a
No,
human?
no, no. The animals are the step before clinical trials.
And
so
then the
that's where we
clinical
come
trial
in.
is with humans, like gabapentin, for example.
Correct.
Have you ever been on gabapentin, Karen?
No.
My
Good.
grandfather was on it, and he did not like it. The side effects are really bad, so that's one of the things we're trying to help get rid of. You know?
Uh-huh.
Side effects of medication.
Yeah.
And why? By testing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can test it on humans, you know better if they'll react positively, negatively. So, in theory,
Okay, so how much do you need? You need another $500,000.
yeah, we'll take it.
And who's the first customer? I guess you can't tell us that.
I can't, but it is a big pharmaceutical company.
Right, so this would be huge if you land with these guys.
It would be
Anything we could do to help.
Yeah, I'll give you all the email address of the guy we're talking to. Email him. You
Right,
know,
tell him-
we'll start a grassroots.
Tell me you
effort.
had 2 drinks and didn't fall off your chair.
You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You need a jingle. Those pharmaceutical companies.
Ah, get those bongos
So-
out again.
Yeah, please.
So we'll, yeah.
That
so
would be
we'll
awesome.
get a
Okay, the
grassroots
company is
event,
called. Here, we're going to do it right now.
But no buyout.
The company is called Axo. The company is called Axosim.
Oh.
Can you do anything with that?
What's the feeling of Exosim? Like, what's the mood? Are you? How are people feeling? Are they
Well, we're
optimistic?
all.
Are
Yeah,
they-
we're
are
all
they-
feeling great. Yeah, but we're a bunch
But the
of
people that are
scientists.
taking the
so-
drugs, you know, like, what's the difference? Why are they going to buy your drug?
Well, it's not our drug.
They're not buying
They're
the
Well,
drug.
using our testing.
I mean, why are they going to use your testing to make the drug?
Well, because it's faster, cheaper, and better. So I think you can
something
work that in,
futuristic.
right?
yeah,
Something
Yeah.
futuristic.
Yeah, it can do something. I need to be in my studio.
You couldn't do it here with the bongos. We couldn't figure it out now. Axosim.
And nerve on a chip
how
is what
long
we
it's
call
taken
it.
Great
to-
word.
It sounds like
You could rhyme with
iRobot.
nerve on a chip easily, right? That's our product.
What rhymes with chip?
Dip.
Andrew? Dip?
You need chips and dip.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we could just go from a different angle,
Okay,
like some
I
kind
like
of chip
that.
and dip.
chip and dip.
So he has a song. He has how much? $100 from you?
Hip. I'll put $100 in right now.
All right.
I don't have it on me, but I can write you an IOU.
You're
right?
good for it, I'm
Can
sure.
Do,
You got your
I can do
checkbook?
GoFundMe. Not on me, but you know,
You got Venmo?
I know people who've got.
Oh, yeah, Venmo.
What?
You got Venmo? You can give him a direct
Venmo. I don't even
Venmo
know what it
direct
is.
payment.
No,
Get on it, man. It's-
I've got Mumble. Do you take Mumble? Okay, so you need another $500,000 to do what with it?
So that'll let us hire a couple more people. It'll let us continue doing the drugs. It'll let me go to a bunch of conferences. Get
He
out
wants an
there.
assistant.
And
You
it'll
got-
help us
you
get a
have to go
jingle.
too. All right.
I mean,
The jingle is going to be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the jingle going to say?
But you know the
Axosim.
SAG will pay for the residuals of that. You just need to give me the upfront money. Like don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you need? Just like $50,
No.
just to play a couple of bongos, and Andrew can help with the lyric.
yeah, maybe.
We need more than that.
Okay, so how much? Now, Cole, what are you raising money to do?
I'm raising money to go on the road. We go on our first band tour.
Oh.
It's for the Midwest, so we start in Chicago next week. So we're raising money
Next
for all
week.
the ongoing costs. You know, renting the van,
That's cool.
gas.
You're
Room
going
and
next
board.
week, and you haven't got all the money together yet.
This is ongoing. I do have the money together. I have
Okay.
money for next week's trip.
Okay,
but
so you're a
we're
week
going,
ahead, all right?
We're going on the road constantly. So I just want to fund.
Uh-huh.
So we raise money for this fund. So we just dip into the fund. We buy plane tickets. We drive. We buy gas. We buy
Okay.
food.
How much do you reckon that's going to cost?
10,000.
10,000. What do we get for it? Is it like Kickstarter where we get?
But you get a songbook, so you get a PDF songbook downloadable.
Oh.
Everybody,
What would
signs
that?
up.
What's the songbook?
Well, for my new album, I have 4 albums out.
Yeah.
The latest one is at Louisiana Music Factory, so you'll get all the lyrics. You'll get the full songbook that I designed.
Okay. And all I have to do is pay how much? Any amount.
Any amount.
Any amount, you'll get the songbook. And suppose that anyone's listening to this and they really do want to do that. Where would they go to do
Suppose what?
Suppose someone really wanted to do that. Where would they find that?
GoFundMe.com/Cole Williams Band.
GoFundMe, Cole Williams Band.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your full name, Cole Williams Band.
No, just Cole Williams. And then band is
Band.
my guitar player, Keenan McCrae, and then my bassist, Devin Kerrigan, and then me.
Okay.
So I'm the only girl.
And any of these guys, your other significant other?
No,
None of them.
no.
Did you find them here, or did they move down?
I
from
found them
Brooklyn?
here. Yeah, so I got a whole new band when I moved down here.
How'd you do that? Just go and hear people play and then pick them out?
I heard people play. I had a friend that knew my drummer now. She referred me to him, and I just put it together. And then just moving pieces around. Some people worked out, some people didn't.
That must be the one of the great things about being a musician in New Orleans. You could pick pretty much anyone, right?
Not really.
They can all play. Everybody can play.
Well, everybody can play, but do they play for your particular style of music? A lot of
think
people can
who-
do a lot of things.
People who aren't musicians, like the three of us over here, have
Definitely
no
me.
idea how that works. I don't know how 4 people get up on a stage and or in a
Well, it's
rehearsal room and
like-
all figure out what they're going to do.
It's like an engineer. You can have different kinds of sound engineers. So a sound engineer for film may not be the best sound engineer for you right now, right?
Well, we're on. Well, it's not-
Well,
not
he's
film,
filming,
so-
but this is audio back here.
Yeah.
So if he's just used to holding, if he's used to doing
Oh, I
specific
see.
things with film, the film industry, he
so
may not
people
be.
who get in a groove playing one kind of music aren't necessarily good for playing every kind of
Absolutely,
music.
yeah.
Right. See, look at this little kid. That kid can't be legal. That's too young. That's too young for you. Karen, you have
He's
kids,
drunk.
right?
Yes, I do.
You
How
do?
many kids have you got?
I have 4.
Oh my God.
How old are the little brats?
My oldest, so I have 14, 12, 10, and 5.
14, 12, 10, and 5. That is 4. So who's texting you consistently every 5 seconds?
These
The
are all my
kids.
notifications on my Instagram.
But
and
what's
Facebook.
going on? Oh,
That
you
is
get
a lot.
notified every time someone... Look how
Yeah.
many you've got since we've been
That
sitting
is
here.
insane. It's so many.
What are they saying, all these people, about your photos?
Yeah, they're saying stuff about my photos.
It's mostly about having sex with you or what? Is that really? None of
I
it.
used to I rant about it on my Facebook all the time when I get messages on Facebook, and a lot of men are just so like, oh my God, you're just
Guys just
What
want
do
to
they
fuck
say?
you. That's the story, right?
So I know I'm really good at picking out like why you're messaging me. So I won't answer it if it says.
Okay, let's tell us if it says what. What's the...
If you say hi, I won't answer you.
Hi?
Yeah,
No
totally.
good, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they just want you to lead in. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I would have thought
Hi.
that would have been a polite way to open a conversation.
No,
Delete.
no.
What does that mean, Cole? That means definitely what?
It's
They're
an
fishing.
opener.
Yeah, they're just fishing. They just threw their fishing line out. Hi.
Okay.
And see
Do
if I'm
some
going to
work.
respond
Don't
or
say
not.
hi.
You don't, yeah, because they're not trying to fish. They're just in this water. Hi, bam.
Okay.
I don't feel that.
All right,
It's
okay.
No connection.
What
Yeah,
else?
right. So
Nothing. What else can't you say?
Oh, we had half a drink.
That's like a ghost. What else can't you say? Hi is out.
Well,
What's
like
another...
what they'll do is they'll say hi, and then today, and tomorrow they'll say hi, and the next day they'll say, hi, how are you? The next day, oh, you're gorgeous. And the next day, you're beautiful. I'm like, okay, so for the whole week I didn't say anything to you, but you're gonna keep continuing to like message me, and they're like, hi, how are you? Why are you so rude? Why can't you respond? Reply back, please. I'm like,
Okay.
that's what I have to.
So don't do that. Don't say hi or follow with you're gorgeous. Okay, so what else? What should you say? What's the best thing you could say to someone on Instagram who's a good-looking woman who's put a photo of herself up there for whatever reason?
I think when you actually be yourself and you're being genuine, like you're genuinely trying to get to know me, and if you are like I'm on social
what do
media.
I know about you, though? All I know is I've seen your photo on Instagram.
If you're on
You
my
look attractive.
social media, then you know enough about me to know like what I like. And
So I have
it's
to
funny.
research you. I've got to go stalk you before I can say anything. Is that
Trust
what
me, a
you're
lot of them already do that.
That does sound
It,
Okay.
those
Creepy.
sounds like that sounds like a stalker message. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
So how much am I
Beautiful.
supposed to know about you when I don't know you at all?
Well, on my, if you're friends on my Facebook, I'm always talking about something. So it's like pieces to my
But
puzzle.
if I just follow you on Instagram, you don't have to know anything about me, right? I can just follow you on Instagram if I want to. Do you have to?
Yeah, but I post certain things about my interests and what I like, and so I know when people are like, it's so funny. So some guys, they know I'm a human rights activist too. So they'll say stuff like, to get me to talk to them, they'll say things like, oh yeah, I want to do human trafficking too, and like
Love human trafficking.
like, yes, I love it. Like, how do I get involved? And it's cool. At that point, I'm like, okay.
Maybe we should slow down here just 1 minute.
I think what you mean is some sort of fight or a fund or nonprofit against human trafficking, right?
Right. So
to
that's messages
clarify.
that I kind of get, and I'm like,
Okay, so can you tell us what human trafficking actually is?
okay. So it's like when you're selling humans.
Yeah, but how would I get one? I mean, suppose I know that you're a.
Is that a good lead-in then?
I know.
Yeah, that could be a good.
That was
Could be a good opening. Suppose I want a human. Where do I go to find one?
It's a supermarket.
Tinder.
Tinder. No,
the
really.
Super Bowl.
So these people these people that you're trying to save from being trafficked, right? If I was on the other side and I was looking to buy a human, who would I talk to about that? Do you have a phone number?
Do I have a phone number? No.
So how would I find a human?
How would you find a human or
Yeah.
a human trafficker?
The person who's going to sell me a human. Well,
So he's a
I'm looking
trafficker.
for a human.
You're looking for a human trafficker because we're humans.
What kind of
Okay.
human?
No, but well, the human trafficker is trafficking another human, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for the second type of human, the one that's being sold.
Yeah,
The
but
one
you
that
got to
they
have a
What
dealer.
can I get? Where do I look to see
Well,
who's
usually,
available?
like, I think they just busted several salons here, like the massage parlors
Oh.
here in New Orleans.
Massage parlor. Now we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, you know about those massage parlors, though.
I don't know where
Yeah,
to
you
find.
know- you know about
I don't
those.
I didn't know there was a good place to get a human. And how much?
It's a good place to get a lot of things.
No, what
Right
they'll
on.
do is
Like a massage,
a
for
lot of
example.
massage parlors are foreign, and so these people that traffic them here will sell them lies. Like, hey, I can bring you to America for this amount of money, and don't worry about it. You get
And what are
here,
we
you'll be
talking about?
free.
We're talking about a young Asian woman.
Yes, young Asian
And
women.
how old are they?
Yeah, they could be, I don't know, 14 and up.
14. So I can go down to the French Quarter, and if I go to the right massage parlor, I can buy a 14-year-old Asian girl.
Well, you
and
would
have
know
her.
that she's 14, right?
Oh, hell no.
No,
And you
No.
not that you would
I'm
buy
not saying
them,
that I'm going to do it
but not that you would
because I
buy
have to
them.
watch the debate tonight, so I haven't got time to do that. But
Just grab them by the.
but Friday night I've got plenty of time. That's what's going on.
Yeah, so what
Okay.
they'll do is they'll sell the girls lies, and they get here and they're thinking they're just going to be free, whatever. But no, when they get here, they live in like a cellar for the rest of their lives, and they're working for these people, and they're stuck. They're not from here.
When you
They don't
say
speak English.
Working
they
for
can't.
these people, what are they doing?
They'll do extra curricular activities.
Well, they're hooker type. They're having
Yeah.
sex with people.
Yeah. So for like you do your massages, but
And
hey,
you buy
if
yourself,
you give me $10,
are you by
$20,
are you by yourself in a room when you're having sex with a guy? Not you personally, but
yeah,
in Buras, I know it's hard.
I would. Assume,
But
I don't know.
these
I
women
don't know,
who
I
are these
guess.
14-year-old girls who are having sex with guys, are they by themselves in a room?
Yeah.
Do they speak any English at all? These girls?
No.
So they
No,
can't
that's
even
why.
say.
That's how
Guys
they
are
feel.
raping them.
That's
Couldn't-
how they're feeling trapped. That's how they're feeling trapped because they can't go anywhere. They don't know anything about here. They can't speak English. So they're just feeling trapped. Like, what do I do? I'm stuck here. And then when they're done, like a lot of them are just they lock them in the cellar and.
Well, they're not much good to anybody in this. Oh, they just. What do they do? They kill them, or they just leave
No,
them?
that's their workers. You know,
So
that's
they
how
work
they
in the
make
cell
extra.
and they get them out and they have sex with guys and go back in the cell.
Yeah.
And who's working with you again on this sort of stuff?
Oh,
Is
I
it-
don't.
Is it the cops? Or?
What I do is I actually fundraise for nonprofit organizations that fight against human trafficking. So I started like in 2010 where I worked with a nonprofit in New York that helped women that were former sex slaves or victims in Cambodia create handmade bags out of recycled material. And they would sell them to help them gain independence and not be thrown back into the cycle of becoming a sex slave. And so I would do fundraisers for them, and then I did one 2 years ago, and where I raised funds for this organization, which was global. So instead of me just focusing on helping women and children in Cambodia, I said my passion was more to help every woman and child around the world. So the organization I worked with after was called the Freedom Climb, and that's where they go around the world climbing mountains to spread awareness on human trafficking. So that time I raised about $3,000 towards the organization, and then climbed 7 summits in Colorado
Wow.
to spread awareness. Yeah.
So you're the full package. You can climb mountains, catch catfish with your bare hands.
She got babies. She
4
already got the
kids,
babies out the way.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
out of the way. And you're on social media now. So now we've learned not to mention human trafficking.
Yeah, because
either.
I was just like, okay, I'm not talking to you unless you're
So
like,
what is the winning line if I'm going to follow you? Well, first of all, what is your name on Instagram? iCandy?
yeah, it's at iCandyland.
iCandyland.
With a K.
IKANDY land. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I want to follow you on Instagram, what should I say that would get me to hang out with you? What's the key? What's the best thing? What would your dream post?
Having a normal conversation with me, not trying too hard. Like a lot of men just try way too hard, or they're trying to be sneaky. Like
Yeah.
not all men, but you know, I always
No,
get
I'm
I always
looking-
get attacked when I say men. Trust me.
Well,
Not all men do that. I'm like,
I'm
okay,
looking
I know
for
that.
the actual words you want us to say, though. What's the best thing you would
There's
say?
no
Well, this guy
actual words.
seems nice.
Yeah, but you
I
know,
can't think of anything more
everyone
innocuous than
everyone
hi,
can
that
seem
didn't-
nice. Everybody can seem nice
I kinda-
until you like go on a date with them.
Why are you looking
Well.
at me?
That was a question I had. How do you know from words on social media, like if someone's sincere or not? Like that seems hard.
Because it's you. Hi, you're beautiful. Hi, you're gorgeous. Hi, like really, like there's more to me than being beautiful. And I say that on my Facebook all the time. I'm always talking about activism, the genocide. I talk about movies. I'm very passionate into like movies, and I'm very proactive in the yellow face phenomenon that we're having now in Hollywood. So I'm always talking about causes, and like, but all you can think about is like my physical looks, and that's just like a turn off for me. Like mentally, I want you to be mentally attracted to me, not just like physically attracted.
So you
to me.
don't want people to notice that you're good looking.
I don't want you to. I don't want that to be the first thing you say to me.
It's not your lead, Grant. You can't lead with that.
I'll do that later. After
Yeah,
we've established
maybe
some
later.
Sort of intellectual. Okay, well that's good to know. Good advice. Thank you. Would you like to hear Andrew Duhon play a song? I cannot believe how many things are
It
going
just
on.
keeps coming.
It's unbelievable. This is non-stop.
It's
these
like a
Instagram.
strobe.
How many people do you have following you on Instagram?
So Instagram, I got 2,400,
They're very active, these 24.
and then I think
Karen Sang.
I guess.
They could be talking to you
Pass
about
them
changing the
on.
world, but oh no, they're looking at some gorgeous
okay.
hot
So
chick.
I wrote
Don't
a
you just hate
post
people?
about.
Priorities, I guess.
Really?
I don't know.
No, I wrote a post about I'm writing a book, and of course I get like 15 likes. So then I did a selfie of myself, and 100 like.
You're an author as well.
I'm starting to write a book. You see, she thinks.
No, but she's Jamaican. You keep looking at me. Every
I've
time
gotta
she
look
says
at
a new thing. But she's half Jamaican. Because Jamaicans have about 12 jobs.
Oh really?
We do a lot of things.
Maybe you're half Jamaican.
Baby,
Okay.
I do.
What's
I wear many
what's
hats.
the other half? It's not Jamaican.
American.
Okay, well that's
So,
I like that.
predictable.
I like that. Thank you. It's better than. You want my favorite? You want to hear my worst pickup line?
Yeah, bring it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Chinese?
Okay.
I'm like, it's 2016. We're still Chinese now. We're still looking like we all look like you were Chinese now. Like we still look the same to you. Like I hate that. I hate when people come up to me like, hey.
What's your answer to that, by the way? Do you have a snappy answer?
I always say no.
Hmm.
I mean I
That's
know
not that
ignorance is
inventive.
out there, so I just deal with it.
Hey, we didn't do any commercials today at all. Shit.
So would you like to do some
Let's do that
commercials?
quickly. And then, no, we call them commercials. Laughingly. Hey, today's show is brought to us by these fabulous people. Basic Swim and Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. Do you do yoga as well, Karen?
No, I shouldn't.
You should. Cole,
done
yoga?
it
No
3
yoga.
times now.
Okay, well, if you like a bikini, a one piece, or a cover up, do you have a cover up, Larry?
I don't, but you didn't ask me about yoga. I'm offended. I've
You
done
do yoga?
like 6 times. So.
Come on. All right. Well, if you want to get like some yoga clothes with style or a bikini,
Yeah.
or a one piece or a cover up, in fact, anything you need for the beach or poolside, you can get it at Basics Swim and Gym. It's right across the street from Basics Lingerie, which is actually called Basics underneath, on Magazine Street. It's near Jefferson Avenue. Thank you to Hangover Destroyer. Here it is right here. You know what this is called?
I don't know what
I'll
that
tell
is.
you what it is. It's the only all-natural product that's medically proven to prevent a hangover. Now we're going to give it one of these to the scientists. There.
All right.
You're going to need
I
this more
studied
than
this in the
anyone.
nerves, too.
Check
Test
it
it
out.
on your nerves.
He had the most drinks.
Exactly. If you want some Hangover Destroyer for yourself, go to the Hangover Destroyer website. It's hdestroyer.com.
It's fun in the pocket.
And if you write happy hour, hey Karen, you want one? If you write happy hour in the coupon code, you'll get 30% off of your order of Hangover Destroyer, and you too
It's gluten
can
free.
seize the dawn. Hooray! It's gluten free, and it
It's
really
fun,
works, and it
guys.
will cure or prevent your hangover.
It says you can have 4 or 5 drinks with it. So can I get another one? How does that work?
Sure. Yeah.
This is really cool. They gave this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another drink.
Get
I'm
another
kinda
drink.
hungry.
Take your Hangover Destroyer.
I'm
Get
hungry,
another drink.
too.
So, yeah. We're eating.
We're eating. We're women. We love to eat.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
You want to get something to eat?
Yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat.
Okay.
Hey, I just found my my pickup.
You pick up line.
Yeah.
You want to get something to eat?
The one
Yes. I will
That's
say
the
yes
one that
to
works.
that.
Okay.
My pickup line
Andrew's
is, what
going
are
to
you
play us a
drinking?
song, and then we have to get out of here in 1 minute. Paint by numbers.
Magnets. How do those work?
Another great title.
Bloody red sunset over the Nevada mountains, like a painting pastel with a rough edge. Oh, look at me now, lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways around. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. But they don't go the places I've been. They don't go the places I've been. Forbidden taste. You kiss my cheek and then you kiss my face, until there was no face left to say. And oh, look at me now, I'm lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways around. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. They don't go the places I've been. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. They don't go the places I've been. They don't go the places I've been. They don't go the places I've been. They don't go the places I've been.
That was pretty nice. Cool.
Very nice, you guys.
Wow.
Pretty good for not rehearsed at all.
No, Not bad.
Nice song.
Kind of worked
too.
with the
Good
bongos.
song.
Yeah, I
nice,
thought it sounded
nice
good.
production choice for bongos. You
It was
know,
a nice, yeah.
drums
nice
would have been a
song.
lot, but bongos were kind of nice.
Cole, can
I
you
like
come
it.
back?
I like the vibe.
Yeah, can you come back and do that again?
Hell yeah.
Okay, when do you get back from being on the road? And if we want to see you,
It's just for the weekend.
just the weekend.
It-
Oh, so
listen,
you're back next
I have
week.
a daylight. I'm a site director for an after-school program. That's where I came from. I came from Uptown, so I do a lot of different things.
What school?
Andrew Wilson, charter school,
Okay.
Inspire, NOLA, and
So
I
you
work
just
with
have to-
Community Works of New Orleans.
All right, cool. So you go out for the weekend and come back.
Yeah, and then we're back, and then
That's the way to do it.
actually I'm here this weekend. I leave next weekend,
Okay.
and then when I get back, I have to go to the dentist. It's a lot of stuff.
Your
I gotta get
teeth
all.
look
I have
great.
wisdom teeth.
Don't worry. Oh, you have to have your wisdom teeth
Oh
pulled
my
out?
god!
Oh,
I have
not
to get
good.
them all pulled out.
At once, all four.
Oh,
So you're
So I'm
gonna,
gonna be
you're
like
gonna go
this.
under.
you have to have
Yeah,
them all done.
I'm going under the.
Do they do it all at once?
They're gonna do it all at once.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just said do it all.
Yeah,
at
you
once.
should do it
You
all
should
at once.
Facebook Live that stuff or something.
Totally.
I should,
Karen
right?
can come over and
She could
Yeah.
totally like.
Yeah,
hand
I
it-
yeah.
should give you the anesthesia too. Totally.
could
She'll
you,
be
you
the
can,
nurse.
you can
Yeah.
give people a shot.
I can do all kinds.
Give
of
me the
stuff.
extra
Man,
drugs.
what
Yeah.
can't you do? Write a book,
I can
give
see.
a shot.
I've seen a
Gabapentin.
lot. Trust me.
Seen a
I'm
lot.
excited though.
Can you
Okay.
swipe a couple of those bags, the IVs that you would get if you get too drunk? Can you swipe a couple of those? So, maybe for like a second or a third date, if it's going really well, maybe you could surprise them in the morning
I don't know that.
with an
what-
IV bag. That'd be
What-
pretty
what
strong.
about
If we
this?
require
Or-
an IV bag, I don't know how well
or-
that date went.
Or a hangover destroyer works maybe better.
Yeah, this is like pho in a bag.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive
I
about
think I'm gonna
this.
use Hangover Destroyer.
Let's
Yeah.
all try one.
Right
Let's
now?
all do a hangover destroyer.
Right now?
Go out tonight.
they
We'll
How
only
have
many
a
drinks
dinner.
are we trying to have?
Tomorrow, I think.
Okay. Listen, everybody, we've got to get the hell out of here. Karen iCandy Tap, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we
you
can
for
find
having
you
me.
at iCandyland
Yes.
on Instagram, and I can't wait to see who takes advantage of our lessons and comes up with a great line
Yeah.
for you. Lara Curley, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Creator
This
of
was
Life on a Chip,
Very fun.
right down there on St. Charles Avenue in the lab. We're looking forward to seeing what happens. I hope you get this big deal with Eli Lilly or Pfizer
Yeah.
or
Whoever it is.
whoever it is.
Yeah,
So we keep
well,
going till we
that,
get
that makes a couple of us at least.
Okay. And and Cole Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You're
That was really
welcome.
great. I'm glad you moved to New Orleans.
Thanks, and you got to see me perform. I'm at the Maroney Brasserie every Saturday night.
Is that right? Maroney Brasserie
Yeah,
every Saturday
that's our
night.
weekly gig.
Okay.
African Rock Saturday.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's a really good idea, actually. Why
so
not?
the Punk Empress has a castle,
a castle.
and it's called
And it's
Maroney
called
Brasserie.
Maroney Brasserie. Well, that's a great line to end on. Thank you so much for joining us. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Christian Unruh is our music director. Eric Morrill is our technical director today, and Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan were the live feed directors on Facebook Live. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show, you can sit upright for approximately an hour. Drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. We can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour, along with some other shows we make, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game with the very funny Chris True, Midnight Menu Plus One with Margot Moss, The Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canata, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu, and the podcast about death. Yes, it's called Death, the Podcast, with psychologist Dr. Arian Alfant, plus questions from the waiting room with psychiatrist Nick Pajic, and Psych Ward with Dr. Ross Shields. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, by the way, Karen, and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well, although we're not on Mumble. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page as well. Those photos were taken today by Alison Moon. If you're listening to the show on a podcast app that you like, thank you so much for subscribing to us. Take a moment to do one thing. Would you rate and review us? That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, where they have a 3-hour happy hour every day and brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting. For itsneworleans.com, for Andrew Duhon, Graham DePonte, everybody back at our office at INO Broadcasting around the table here at Wayfair. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.